So recently at 16 years old, I got my hormone profile and specifically I wanted to see testosterone checked. I wanted to see where my male sex hormones were. I wanted to see where all my vitamins were and like my general health of my body, right? And like, it's something that I've always been talked out of. Like I brought this up to adults in my life, like my mum, and my mum had always kind of managed to talk me out of getting a blood test because she's like, I don't even think they'll do that, sweetie. Like, why would they even do that? Like, you'll get rejected or it'll cost too much, just random shit like that kind of puts you off doing it. And then the idea of going to the doctor, in all honesty, is a little bit scary because it just feels like there's nothing really wrong with you, but you really want a blood test just to see your numbers. And it's, for some reason, to me at least, it just didn't feel right. I feel like, what if they say no? You know what I mean? So, but I found out here in Australia at my age, at 16, you can literally just book your own doctor's appointment. So that same day I found that out, I booked a doctor's appointment for the next day and I went. So in that doctor's appointment, I kind of framed it like an athlete's perspective. So I told him, oh, just for rugby, I want to know like where I'm at because I'm training a lot. And I had a really good doctor. So he was super understanding and he's like, that totally makes sense. Like it's totally within your right to go check like where your levels are at, where you're at. And I think even just for my health, I just want to know where I'm at. And as someone who likes data a lot, I think it just makes total sense. So he gave me a piece of paper that basically said everything that I needed tested and I just needed to hand these in to like a blood drawing place and then they would draw the blood. So without a booking, I literally just walked straight into the blood drawing place, covered by Medicare. So I didn't actually have to pay for anything in this process and they just took my blood. Almost been a week. I believe I got my results today and I got my test last week on Friday. So it's Thursday today, so pretty much just under a week. So this is exactly what I got tested for. I got like a hormone panel, which is like looks to me like a lot of sex hormones. Then I got iron studies, which is just like everything to do with iron, I think. Lipid profile, so that's fats and cholesterol. Thyroid function, vitamins, and vitamin D. Specifically, I don't know why that says vitamin D in particular. Biochemistry, electrolyte / kidney / liver. So sodium, potassium, random things that I actually don't know. Bilirubin, alkaline phosphate, just random things like that. So 30 individual tests. So all of that short, I haven't seen my GP yet, but I plugged it into ChatGPT and Grok and they both told me that it's a really good balanced outcome. So basically it's telling me that my vitamin D is the low normal. So obviously as somebody who's still developing for bone mineralization, you want high vitamin D apparently. And I think high vitamin D correlates with high testosterone. And I've got a little bit high urea. I don't really know what that means. And my total protein is actually low. So the protein in my blood is low. So it says 63 grams per liter if I'm reading that right. Which is kind of weird because I don't really know much about this, but I would have thought, because I eat probably way above average in protein, I would have thought that my protein would have been good, but I guess it's not. But everything else other than what I just said is perfect, it says. And for the metric that a lot of people are interested in, it's total testosterone. I got 403 nanograms per deciliter. And free testosterone is 9.3 nanograms per deciliter, which almost sounds wrong, but I'm not sure. Okay, so my free testosterone, it says, is top 25% for teenagers. And then my total testosterone is a healthy mid-range. I know no one gives a fuck what my exact levels are, but something that my doctor told me that I thought was really smart was that it's well within your right to go get this stuff checked. Like, I feel like if you want above average or optimal results in this, you kind of want to be able to know where you're at in the first place. So this is great data for me to have now. So if I get my testosterone checked in 10 years time, 5 years time, 1 year time, I'll be able to like see the trend of where I'm going for a bunch of health reasons. So like now I know that since I didn't have enough vitamin D, I'm like, okay, now I need to, this is what Grok's telling me, start supplementing vitamin D, right? So now I know what changes to make to my lifestyle. But say like if I didn't know these things and say it was a bad result. So let's say like I had very low testosterone or very low something, or I had some kind of issue. I feel like sometimes you'd be able to just see the symptoms of it and then you get a blood test. I'm no doctor, but I feel as though if there was like something that was lower than ideal, maybe it's testosterone, but it's not low enough to fully affect your life, but it's still low enough to reduce your drive or something, right? It'd be nice to know that so you can start making adjustments. Okay, maybe I need to sleep more. You kind of just get this data to know what you have to do next. And I really believe in data, like weighing yourself, seeing the trend over time. That's extremely powerful. Tracking calories. People fucking hate to hear that, but tracking calories is like the best thing you can possibly do in terms of data for like fitness. So yeah, no matter what their age is, I severely encourage everybody to just get a blood test. It's well within your right. Don't let people make you feel wrong for wanting to get a blood test. That's just so stupid. So yeah, no matter what age you are, I think it's totally within your right to get a blood test. Well, it's fully in your right and it's totally reasonable. It's a reasonable thing to want to get. a lot of the adults in my life kind of were like, no, that's weird. Like, why would you get that? And then I was scared the doctor would say that. And I've had a comment recently on one of my TikToks, and they said their doctor kind of just shuts them down and makes them feel stupid for this, which is just so stupid. It's a completely reasonable thing to want to get a testosterone check. And not just testosterone, just all your panels. All your categories. I don't know what they're called.